What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 3.5%, 501 the high, 489 the low. So today, not doing that great, but then again, neither is the broader market. NASDAQ down 1.29, S&P down 0.82. What is very odd about today is that not only are we experiencing low volume, so 18.6 million shares being traded, but we did get a piece of news that the market generally likes. And so I'll kind of go over that in a second. But as far as what's causing all of this fear in the market, one is just stemming from geopolitical issues between Iran and the States. Second is more linked to kind of American data. Again, it shouldn't really affect NIO, but it does through algorithmic trading. But PPI came in hotter than anticipated, and a lot of companies just flopping on earnings. All of that combined is causing the market to rather kind of freak out. And in NIO's case, NIO isn't getting that type of institutions buying the dip. So unfortunately, with us getting lower volume, shorts can do whatever the hell they want. And for those of you that tuned into my pre-market video, I believe even at that time, shorts were increasing about 500,000. So that was rather significant. They wanted to break NIO below $5 to ensure most of the options kind of expired worthless. But yeah, today we did get at least one good piece of news, and that was this right here, saying that 70,000 ES8s have been delivered. That is a huge accomplishment, and like I said, normally this type of news, like milestone, launches, new products, that is generally what the market likes to see and to really push NIO higher because of that. But unfortunately, with shorts just doing what they're doing, it's kind of getting brushed under the rug. Aside from that though, the only other thing that kind of came out, which was yesterday, and I forgot to bring this up in my video yesterday, but NIO and Bosch sign expanded cooperation. So I think this does signal that NIO, not only are they really focusing on AI and tech in 2026 as what they've kind of mentioned in the past, but NIO is really going to be focusing on Europe. So hopefully this will give them a little bit of a leg up over the competition. And so I think this was a good catalyst yesterday, but again, no different than today. It's just getting kind of brushed under the rug. At the time of doing this video, shorts are increasing 170,000 shares. But if we kind of look at the peak, they were increasing about 2.5 million shares. So they were making up for a big chunk of the daily volume, and this is something that they do time and time again. They hit NIO hard very fast, first thing right out the gate, and then they just kind of sit back, return, and then they just put up their hands. Market just kind of does the damage itself. So unfortunately, that's kind of shorts' game, and it's honestly been very much working for them time and time again. So I think whoever is shorting NIO, it's not their first rodeo. They know what they're doing, unfortunately. But 7.65% of the free float is being shorted. Short score 63.5, so that's been kind of maintaining itself. So the higher the number, the higher likelihood of a squeeze happening. DTC 3.8 days, so that does also signal that shorts are relatively overextended. But clearly, market is just waiting for something. And institutions, there's been absolutely no transactions above $100,000 on the secondary market the last 3 consecutive days. So big money's not really touching NIO at all. Dark pool seems to be a little bit more active, but still, given how active shorts are, it is fair to assume that all of this is linked to them. Looking at the options, 2.05 million in calls, 652,000 in puts, 51% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So looks as though that big money is kind of assuming that NIO is going to continue to go down. From a bull standpoint though, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 5. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 5, between 450 and 5. But with today being Friday, this is the open interest. You have 1,000 at that 4, 2,000 at the 450, 15,000 at the 5, 46,000 at the 550. This is why even yesterday, and I think I even mentioned it the day prior, why shorts might be doubling down is just to ensure that it closes below 5. This is why they hit it hard and fast, because they don't want this 15,000 to be considered obviously in the money. And no different than what happened last week, I think things just didn't go according to shorts' plan. And so yeah, it's rather unfortunate how things play out with NIO. But right now with it at 491, it is right above this S1. So trading between this pivot and this S1. So 489, you really want to watch for it to close above that. It kind of bounced off that general area, so we know at least that's a good support level. But 501 is going to be the next strong target, and it is fair to assume that's pretty much going to be off the table, regrettably. But aside from all that, on the actual chart itself, it is still holding above that 50-day moving average. So this is going to be that last line in the sand that's sitting at 487. Hasn't been tested, at least at the time of doing this video. But again, if it does break below that, then yeah, anticipate a little bit more further consolidation. So this is always happens with NIO, and this is why I think the sentiment does get very negative with NIO, is because like it has a lot of good news actually throughout a lot of this. It has the periodic push higher, but then shorts strategically hit it time and time and time again. Even this most recent one, it did have a lot of good optimism, got above that 200-day moving average, but this is where again institutions just somehow stopped buying and shorts just continued to do what they do. So eventually NIO really does need to just incentivize institutions to buy and continue to buy and hold, not just kind of swing trade. Hopefully their earnings coming right around the corner will show profitability, and then again that might be enough to really push it higher. But as far as right now, just watch for it to hold that 50-day moving average. Stochastic RSI, because of the recent price action, is at 32, so arguably considered oversold. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your kind of general thoughts on all that? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.